Hello team, welcome back to another vlog. I don't have my Halloween costume on anymore. I'm not crying. I am not having a mental breakdown in the middle of the afternoon. I am eating a cupcake in my kitchen because this seems to be where I bring all of the updates. First of all, thank you so much for everyone who commented on the vlog of me feeling like my life was over in that moment. When I filmed that video, I wanted to show you the emotions that were coming up at that time. I wanted it to feel honest and open. Whenever I thought about giving updates on anything in my life, to be honest, like even in my self-employed business, I never want anything to feel like it's rehearsed or it's performing, or I want it to just be me, and I want it to just be very exactly like if we were having a conversation behind closed doors, except we're having a conversation on the internet with potentially thousands of people to look at. We've got a few more updates in the past week. I wanted to fill you in on things that have been happening. I have read every single comment that has come through. There's just been so many and they come through in like the middle of the night, and then I wake up and the kids need something, so I've not been able to reply to every single one. I've read through all of the suggestions and the thoughts and the opinions of what to do next, and that's really helped us a lot this week. So a couple of different things that we've done. I got in touch with, is it the Johnson Life, that a lot of people were commenting. I never heard anything back from them. However, I did some snooping and I saw that it's True Blue Immigration that they are affiliated with, so I got in contact with them, dropped them an email, explained the situation, asked for their opinion, what our potential steps could be, and they basically said, the skills assessment would be a risk. However, there would be a slight chance that they would accept that for a PR visa. They would potentially accept that if we were able to get some written confirmation from Mikey's uni to say that he did a fast track degree, that he has the right amount of credits and placement hours, etc., which we do have, and that's what we provided to the teacher registration board. We think they approved him to be able to be a fully professional teacher. So we're hopeful that maybe if this option of sponsorship doesn't work out that I'm about to explain, then we will go down that route in the new year. We'll pay for that and see if what the result of that comes back. If that's positive, then we'll go down the route of, fully funding our own way within that and getting the PR visa route. The other thing that's come through is everyone's comments about applying for public schools, faith-based schools, and that sort of thing outside of the public region. Mikey had a look at so many of these. He's applied for probably well over 20 jobs that came up on Seek and different things like that. We looked at the East Coast Department of Education. It's like ACT, I think it's called. And all of the different opportunities that would be available within that. We found that there was a teaching pool within that. Mikey has been sent a link to do an interview to go through that process, which is good. And we've also had a look at like Canberra and different things like that. So we've looked at quite a few different options, thrown Mikey's name into those hats. Today, we found out that Mikey has an interview for a college in just south of Perth, not far from Perth, in Mandurah. Hope I'm saying that right. So that was really surprising because we were, for a couple of different reasons. Obviously, he applied for the job. Obviously, that is what we want, right? However, after trick-or-treating yesterday, we were lying in bed and, I said to Mikey, I've had such a lovely day and it felt really nice, and we went trick-or-treating with Ella's friend, and the kids just loved all of the different Halloween themed things that we did for them, and I just felt to myself, I don't need Australia to make me happy. Like, it was just, I think we'd had this realisation quite a few months ago before we then found out that Mikey was invited into the teacher pool for WA. And it was like this moment of detaching from this need for it to happen so badly that then it felt like the universe was like, oh, well, here's an interview. You don't really want it that much anymore. Here you go. And although that wasn't the thought process behind the conversation yesterday, I very much feel like that's what I got back to a place of. And obviously I can't speak for Mikey because we definitely do want this, and he he was just as devastated as I was after we got those emails last week. But what I feel like that did was it just kind of gave us a broader perspective on our life again, instead of being so hell-bent and just the blinkers on for this one thing to happen, that we realised, the things that mean the most to us are like our family and making sure that they are happy, because when my kids are happy, when our kids are happy, it makes us the most happiest that we could be. And, we are very, very fortunate for what we do have. It's not that we're ever not grateful for what we have. It's just you've always got a vision of what your life could be and the experiences that you want to have. And I think that's what we've been looking at for so long, that obviously we've not really taken time to look at what we do have with as much detail as maybe we should have. So, or could have, I would say. So yeah, that was the kind of feeling that we got to yesterday of like, okay, well, do you know what? We are very fortunate. There is a lot that we can do. There is a lot for us to look forward to. We're not in any way, shape or form lacking in things in our life. It's just we know that we've come to a point where we've outgrown where we currently are, and we're ready for something, a new experience, a new chapter in our life. So then naturally we woke up this morning, or Mikey woke me up at like 6 a.m. He was like, wake up, I've got an interview. And I was like, for what? Like thinking, is it a teaching pool? Like what's the interview for? And it's for a college south of Perth, about an hour and a half-ish drive from Perth, in a city. The place, the college, is literally like 20 minutes away from the beach. There is so much around it. I was like, oh my God, why does this always happen? The minute we're good without it, something happens. So if you take anything from this, because I know a lot of people are also in this journey, or they will be there, looking for sponsorship or trying to get a visa or some route over to Australia because it's a dream for you, like it has been for us. Detach from it. Find something else to put your attention onto. And then all of a sudden it feels like it's happening, because that's happened twice now, and I don't think that's a coincidence. So yeah, the interview is next Friday. We're currently on Saturday today. So that will be good to look forward to. It'll be exciting. We're hopeful. Obviously we're hopeful. But at the same time, this is not the be all end all for us. This is not the only thing that will make us happy. This is not, we're not tied to this in the same emotional way that I think we have been. And yeah, I just said to Mikey, I was like, it's amazing that you've even got an interview, because I've seen people in the comments saying that they were applying for jobs for like a year to pushing 2 years before they finally broke through, and were even getting a response from people. So it's a lot. It's a lot. However, we are still progressing with the sale of the house. Hopefully this is something that comes to fruition. If it does, amazing. We pack up our stuff, or just bin our stuff. Like, we literally don't care at this point. We do not freaking care at this point. Yeah, we're just looking forward to planning a couple of other things in the meantime. Like, me and Mikey are going to go to London at Christmas. We went, just the two of us, a couple of years ago, and it was really nice. So we're going to go see a show. We're thinking either Thriller or The Greatest Showman, because either one of those would be amazing. So we're going to go do something like that at the end of November. Mikey was like, shall we put the Christmas tree up on Sunday? We might be doing that, because why not? You need to find your joy somewhere. I told Ella about it and she was like, yes, Mum, let's put the tree up. So, but I also want to go buy some new decorations. So I'm like, do you know what? Reckon let's just let a little. So we're going to do a couple of different things like that. So that, just to recap, that's the outlook that we've got. If nothing comes from the job front, we've decided that we're going to keep with the house, do the skills assessment, go down that route. We thought going over on like an extended holiday basis to see things and everything else sounds great, but then the reality is, if we did that for a couple of months, there wouldn't be anything for us to come back to, because we've sold it, we've pulled Ella out of school. It feels like a very final thing to do, with no level of certainty for the kids and for us. And also, the main majority of the jobs come out this time every year, so even if a scattering of jobs came up for term 2 when we were over there, it's still not enough to base everything on. So that's what we've decided to do. If this works out with the job front, amazing. We sort that and we move. If it doesn't, we stay where we are, we apply for the skills assessment with the 10% chance that it could go through, because either way, we just need to know. Do you know what I mean? Everything that we've been through, we've never had a definitive, yes, it's happening, or no, it's not happening. It's always been this grey area, and we just need to exhaust every single option before we can finally put it to bed and move on, if that is the case that has to happen. So yeah, that's been the update. Again, thank you so much for all your support. If you have been following along with the journey but you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. That helps even more. Like the button, so that they hit the like button so it pushes the video out to more people on this crazy freaking journey. And hopefully I can share some more updates of things happening, like, or at least just being like, this is what we know we're doing, or this is some fun things that we're doing, or whatever. I will speak to you all in the next one. Bye.